Afternoon everyone, Brian McManus from Brian McManus Real Estate. Here we are, week 17 update, and gee, the market's moving. We've just clearing, we've got our last lot of stock clearing today, so we'll have all new stock coming through over the next 4 weeks, certainly from the next auction on. That's all new stock listed under these new conditions, so fair market value, which would be great. You know, going through that transition is always hard. Every market's, and you know, over the last 36 odd years, we've always found that the transition is the worst part of the market, where a vendor's expectation is a lot higher than what the market's going to take, and they are the last to change. And it's just one of those things. Nothing we can do about it. You can give reasons for it, for the downturn. You know, borrowing at 18% for hotels, motels, caravan parks. Terms only 2 years. Some of them only 12 months. They're reviewing after 12 months. So all these factors taken into consideration. Buyers just simply have less money, and when they have less money to service the debt, the debt's higher, and also if your accounts aren't certified or aren't what they were, that comes into consideration as well. Now, in saying that, on a brighter note, as I said, you know, we've been you know, I've been reporting all year to date, and we're going into May, so next week, that we're doing a lot of appraisals. So there's going to be a lot of stock coming on the market, and hence our database has been a massive source for our buyers, and also our social media marketing, massive part of our buyer inquiry, registered bidders, and purchases at the auction. So just taking a step back and saying we can't really sit back and just wait for those inquiries to come from websites. Those days are gone. Although we are generating activity to our website, and that's totally different. So you would have noticed, if you've been following us on social media, that we're over 4.3 million viewings, and that's just Google. So that gives you an indication of where we're at, and where we're going to be moving forward to. So all in all, our inquiries as good as it ever has been. The quality of the inquiry is great. They're coming out of, you know, if you wanted me to give an overview, the bulk of the buyers are coming out of Sydney. Bulk of the buyers can be investors. So in saying that, we've got to have our ducks in a row. We've got to have contracts ready. We've got to have certified accounts ready, so that they can take all of that to their financiers. And the other part of the equation is that they have to have a reasonable amount of money in the first place. Gone are the days where managers are moving into hotels or motels, and that's just a fact. If they're on wages and they haven't got that 60% lump sum, I'm afraid that it's a big ask. Excuse me, we had a early start. So yeah, so moving through where the market is at now, we do have willing buyer, willing seller, and that's with the new stock coming through. It's been appraised accordingly, and we've gone back to just about every appraisal over the last 12 months. And if I've missed you, please give me a call. We can readjust your appraisal. We've gone back and reappraised the properties, so that the vendors are in no uncertain terms of what their property's worth in today's market. Might change, might not, but in today's market, where we're at, and it's pretty important, honest conversations which I've had with all of our vendors on the way through. Unfortunately, in the transitional market, we've started higher, we've come down, and it's not a pleasant discussion, but I've had it. I've had open and honest discussions with people, and that's pretty important that they're kept astride with the market. And I can understand why I'm not popular, you know, and it's easy not to tell you the truth if you're a vendor. It's harder to have that difficult conversation, but it's important to have that so that you know when we get a bona fide offer what your property was worth. So we've moved on from that market now. We've moved out of the transition. We are now in a recessional market, but it's a fair playing field. You know, it's a willing buyer, willing seller, and we can move on from that. Now, putting all that aside, we are sitting at 20 days to cut off. So, yeah, about 20 days to cut off to our May auction on the 31st of Friday the 31st of May. That's in rooms in Double Bay, 377 New Southhead Road in Double Bay there. So if you are looking at coming to auction, and then we've only got one more auction, and that's on the 28th of June, and that is our 23-24 financial year cutoff. Important, you'll talk to your accountant obviously, but the auction fees are, everything involved is tax deductible, so you're getting all that back off your tax, so it doesn't really affect you too much. But it is important if you want to get in and get sold in this financial year. We've only got 2 auctions to go, so let's look at getting either in front of you or getting the paperwork to you so I can then get to your solicitor so we can get those contracts. The contracts are vital. That's something over the last 12 months. Some of the solicitors have got very late in getting them to us. That gives the buyer less time to work, and then it will only affect your outcome by having less buyers at the auction online or in rooms. So let's get the paperwork ready. I can get it to the solicitor. He or she can draw up the contracts and get them to me before I start marketing, because right at the start, odds on we get our top buyer inquiring. They want a contract, they want the accounts that are certified. They must be certified, not just a spreadsheet, and then they can go away, get their finance and get ready to bid. So that's pretty much it. It's a short talk this week. We're pretty excited. We've moved through this transitional market, which is great. Unfortunately, we didn't sell every property we had listed, but we are now cutting that off, and we had offers on everything, all bar one, and one wasn't our normal business. But in saying that, if the expectation was quite a bit lower at market value, we would have had a number of offers. We had a lot of inquiry, a lot of viewings. You could understand 4.3 million viewings of photos and videos and things on Google. And then you break it right down. It's really interesting how we can track the inquiry and where it's come from and everything. It's dominated by the cities. Dominated. The local inquiry, 20% lower than the city inquiry. So it's vital that if you're looking at selling and you're in the regions, you list with us. We're in Double Bay, we're getting that inquiry, and of course our database. So moving forward, we are out and about for the next 3 weeks. from Monday. So give us a call, 040-297-0217. Email brian@brianmcmanusrealestate.com. Just realise that we are out of area a lot of the time. We do have Telstra and Optus. Optus is 0457217925. Oh, that's Telstra, sorry. So try either of those numbers, emails, we can get the information to you. And have a wonderful week. It's week 17. Have an awesome Anzac Day. We'll be there, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.